Hello! In this video, we're going to take a look at Node-RED's context data, which is equivalent to a programming language's variables. With that, let's get started. To begin, we'll drag out an inject node. We'll double-click it to get to its properties. Now we can get rid of this line, the message.topic, and what we'll do is set message.payload to a string, and we'll just set it to hello world, and then click done. When it comes to context data, the easiest way to change it is to actually drag out a change node, and we'll double click this. We'll leave this as set, and what we'll do here is define global. So by specifying global, we're saying to use a global variable, and we'll call it test. Now global in this context means all flows. So right now you can see we're on flow 1, but if we had a number of different flows, this global variable test could be used in all the different flows. If we were to set this to flow, then this variable test would only be good within this particular flow and not any of the others. So we're just going to keep this simple. We'll keep it at global. We'll call the variable test, or I should say the context data to test, and we'll set this to the incoming message.payload. Now remember that the message.payload is actually coming from this inject node here. So let's double check that. We're setting message payload to hello world. So when this gets clicked, it's going to send a message. The payload will be hello world. And then this change node is going to set the global context test to the payload. Now we'll wire these two together and then click deploy. Now to see the context data, over here in these tabs, we can change to context data. And right now you can see there is none. So we'll go ahead and click on Hello World. We don't see anything over here just yet. We need to refresh. And once we do, now we can see test is set to Hello World. And that's all there really is to setting this context data. Now when we want to read context data, we'll do something very similar. Again, we'll drag out an inject node. We'll drag out a change node, and then finally we'll also drag out a debug node. Now for the purpose of this particular flow, we don't need to change anything about this inject node. We're just using it as a way to start this flow. So we'll connect these. What we will do is double click this particular node to get to its properties, and this time we will set message payload to be our global test variable, or global context data. So we'll set it to test and click done. Now we'll connect these together, and you'll see that this debug is going to act on message.payload. And again, we're setting message payload to what is in this test global context data. So we'll go ahead and click on deploy. And now when we click on the timestamp here, again, this isn't doing anything for us except just to kick off this particular flow. So now when we click on this debug tab, we can see the output is hello world. Click this one more time, and we can again see the output come out. As a quick recap, as a way to set your global context data, use a change node. We'll set whatever you want to call the global context data and set it to the message.payload. And to read the context data, again, we'll use a change node. We'll set the message payload to the global test context data. And that's all there is to it. Thank you very much for watching. Stay creative.